Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's nice to see you back in the
Nice
in
to
the
be
chair.
back in the saddle. Thank you.
I'm glad you're feeling well.
Thank you.
And this morning, as the chairman said, we're going to consider 3 nominations and a number of GSA resolutions. First, I would like to speak on the nominations of Anna Caputo and Bradley Crowell to serve as members of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I support their swift confirmation on a bipartisan on this bipartisan pairing. Reliable, affordable nuclear energy is necessary to power our homes and businesses and is an energy source that both you and I strongly support. Nuclear energy provides about half of America's emission-free energy and about nearly 20% of our power. The NRC right now is facing significant opportunities and challenges. The Commission both has to help preserve the safe operations of today's nuclear power plants and also ensure the timely and safe development and deployment of new advanced nuclear technologies. In my home of West Virginia, in my home state, there is a buzz about nuclear energy since the state opened the door to building nuclear plants earlier this year. Like coal and natural gas, nuclear is an energy source that provides reliable baseload electricity. In May, the North American Electric Reliability Corporation warned of high and elevated risks of energy shortfalls throughout much of the United States this summer. The looming threat of blackouts reminds us of the need for more baseload electricity. I look forward to working with Senator Carper to push for the paired confirmation of these 2 NRC nominees so they can get to work quickly, which I know they will. In contrast, I am strongly opposed to the 3rd nominee we are voting on today, Joe Goffman, President Biden's nominee to serve as Assistant Administrator for EPA's Office of Air and Radiation. At the end of last month, the United States Supreme Court issued a landmark opinion in West Virginia versus the EPA. The court ruled that the EPA had clearly overstepped its authority in issuing the so-called Clean Power Plan, which Mr. Goffman developed. His response to the Supreme Court's decision reaffirmed why I am opposed to him. After the decision was released, Mr. Goffman told the New York Times that, quote, "The case does not really take anything off the menu that we've been focused on." Despite the court saying that EPA lacks authority to manage the electricity system, he still plans to pursue a host of policies to force electricity to shift away from coal and natural gas to renewables. Inflation hit a 40-year high in June based on statistics released just last week, and energy costs climbed greater than 40% over the last year. And as I talked about earlier, much of the country is already facing reliability challenges. Meanwhile, Mr. Goffman is hard at work on a suite of policies that will threaten reliability and continue to inflate energy prices, making hard-working American families pay more. Just one of those policies, the so-called Good Neighbor Rule, currently under development by Mr. Goffman, would drive up West Virginia's electricity prices another 5%. On June 21, the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, in charge of operating much of the electric grid through the middle of the country, said that same proposal threatens the reliability of the electric power system. With rising inflation and energy challenges at home and abroad, worsened by the war in Ukraine, we have too much at stake to put Mr. Goffman in charge of such an important EPA office. I strongly oppose his nomination, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Chair.